Hey Raz, how's it going? So how is the air compressor and which one did you get? That's good. As long as you got a silent compressor, whichever version, and a tank on it, it'll make life a lot easier. Well, that's good. I forgot about the... Well, I found a couple things on Labor Day sale, but nothing super exciting. Hey, Scott. Not getting paint clogs. It depends on what type of clog you're getting. Are you getting clog where when you're spraying, it's clogging inside the nozzle? Or is it clogging inside the airbrush cup? And I'll grab my airbrush. So by the nozzle, So if you're clogging up here a lot, it's because of hey, what's up, raccoon? Sometimes the paint is drying up on you up here, and what happens is, like, certain paints that I airbrush with, you'll see like the needle will start to cake up. So if you get used to your airbrush, like I've been doing this for years, sometimes when that gets clogged up, I know just enough pressure where to go with my fingernails and sort of like scrape it off without bending the needle. But I know the Iwata needles don't bend, and if I was to do this with like Badger, it would probably bend the needle. They have also, it depends on your paint too. Like if your paint is super thick and not watery, that could be causing it too, or it could be the pigments. So I'll kind of go over some things here. What you could try to do is, this is super lube. It's for airbrushes. So if you clean out your brush, right, and you get this nice and clean, if you take some super lube and you put it on your finger, well, this one's not open, so if you put a little bit on your finger, not a lot, you just kind of coat the airbrush, that sort of helps the paint not stick to your needle, and it gives it like a lubrication. But the minute you like clean your airbrush with some cleaner, it might pull that off. It also paints too. Like I'll grab two paints and show you. So I know if I use Wicked Colors White, the paint is very chalky. Alright, so some Vallejos do this too. What happens is, if it's very chalky, when it starts hitting that air, it starts curing right away up there. So sometimes this white stuff kind of causes an issue there if I'm spraying very low PSI. But if I'm spraying very heavy, I don't have the issue. But other colors don't really bond to the needle too much. So it also depends on the colors and pigments you get too. Another thing too is possible. Sometimes if you jam your needle, there's a nozzle in there, right? So if you jam your needle in there and you're really jamming it in there to that nozzle, what happens is, just think like this is the nozzle, but huge. It starts to spread apart and break. So you're not getting the correct airflow, so air could be kind of drying up in that part too. I've seen that happen where I had to replace the nozzle, and also this piece here. I mean, I've been doing it for years, and I've never really found a perfect way of stopping like clogging up there. It just happens. Now, some people use retarders for their paints, where it stays like, you know, wet for a little bit longer. So maybe that might help you. I'm just so used to airbrushing, and then when I'm done with something, or if I'm cleaning it out between colors, I'm so used to just pulling this out, taking my finger, doing this, and then going right back in, and then airbrushing again. So I just have a habit of doing that. You just got to make sure you do it where you don't bend your needles. But I'm not like super like, you know everything about the airbrush that would solve that problem. I just kind of found my own little way of doing stuff. And if your needle gets old and it's really been in there for a while, that could also kind of not have that smooth surface anymore, I guess. Maybe that's a possibility. But look into the super lube. That might actually help you out a little bit. Yeah, try that out, see how it works. It happens, you know. Sometimes I paint and the stuff just clogs, and you just got to stop and kind of unclog it all. It happens. I know there's some guys out there who never have that issue, but they have a special way of painting and stuff. So it all depends on what you could find out's best working for you. The other thing too, it could also be your PSI. Some people go at 10 PSI. I have mine usually around 25-30. Oh, another thing too is it also make sure you have moisture traps. If there's a lot of moisture going in there too, that could also be a problem. Yeah, I got the power of I got that Power Girl from Berserk coming too. I signed up. My friend got me to sign up a while ago, so he printed me a copy as well. I'm gonna do a kit review on it when I get it in. What airbrush are you using? I guess that's another thing. Yeah, I hate the ones that connect to the airbrush because it's in your way when you're airbrushing. You should get one of the ones that like attach to the compressor itself at the hose area at the bottom. You really don't need two of them unless you get a lot of moisture in the area where you live. Oh, I tried one a long time ago. It was in my way all the time. It's bad enough I almost kicked the cord half the time out of the under my feet. So anyway, the reason why I'm doing this foot again is because after I sprayed it down, it was all warped and I didn't like the way it was looking. So I re-sanded this down and I kind of did a little bit better patchwork. So I'm going to see how it looks now. Just wasn't coming out right. Yeah, I'm gonna actually customize my Power Girl when I get it from my friend. I'm gonna redo the boob window and I'm going to tweak up some of the model a bit. They went with that artwork, which I like, but I don't like that all that gold trim on it. So I think I'm gonna try to take some of that off. Hey Chris, how's it going? I'm doing good. Hopefully you're doing well. I've been pretty busy. I saw your painted Huntress. That was beautiful. I really love what you did with that Huntress, Chris. I have to say that Huntress, I think, is one of your best ones. That's my opinion. Of the comic book girls. Hey, what's up, Iceman? I think if you keep doing your comic book girls like the Huntress, I think you might be able to really get a nice groove with like a series of them. Hey George. Alright, we're gonna try to finish this character up because I would like to get her done. Now, even though there's no primer here, it's not a problem to paint over it. I've never run into an issue. I have noticed though in the past, if I try to use this over this right now, what happens is it sort of gives me a little bit of a weird line between the resin and the primer that's here. And then when you go to paint over it, you see it. So this is good for like a whole item, but when you have like resin with Aves and primer, this stuff doesn't really cure the way you would want to. You have to end up sanding it again. So just going over with some paint should be fine in a little area. Cool, Chris. I'm gonna have to look forward to seeing what you do. But that Huntress though, man, whew. If you made print run of those, I would probably snag one of those. I think I downloaded the Zantana, but I didn't. I don't know if I'm gonna print it out because I want to print out the Power Girl bust too. But I'm gonna do that next year. Just got too much stuff on my plate. But my friend printed the Power Girl 1/4 scale, so she's gonna be closer to like the Sideshow scale. So she's gonna be fairly big. Except I didn't print out the base though. I'm gonna be making my own base because their base was too crazy, and I don't think my friend's printer would be able to do the whole base. Alright, so just to give you an idea, I'm at like 30 psi, and then this is, I always kind of tone down my pressure with this brush. So this is straight through the bottle, the black. So if it starts caking up, I'll show you what I do, but most of the time it really doesn't. So if by chance the needle is getting a little bit too caked up, and you know, like if you're starting to spray and you're seeing your spray is not coming out and you look at your needle and it gets caked up, if you're good enough without bending it, you could just kind of pull that off, and you could kind of do that with your finger. and then you should be able to spray fine again. Oh, that's awesome, Chris. I mean, I would love to go see them in person at the New York show, but I'm not going, sadly. But that's the way to get your pieces out a little bit more. I'm just spraying a little mahogany on here, just to make it a little bit brownish tint. Alright, I'm going to show you how I clean my airbrush out. So hold on one second. Let me turn the camera. Hold on a second. Let me So I have my mixture of the airbrush stuff here. This is my little messed up area from all my paint. So what I like to do is whenever I clean out my brushes, so sometimes you'll hear me when I'm painting. The reason why I use this stuff is because I've done the airbrush cleaner video a while back. So I can just do this, get all that paint out of there, and then I can spray it like right there. And this is a cheaper way of using airbrush cleaner without friggin' like spending an arm and a leg. So while I clean it too, if I think that that's getting caked up and the cleaner's not cleaning it to the next color, you can pop it out and you can just pull your finger over this way. Never go this way, go that way. And if you try to put your airbrush needle back in and you're not getting it all the way at the part and you feel a little resistance, that means because you're probably clogged in there too. And then I have my little spray cup over here. So this is usually, it should be like 40% airbrush glass cleaner, but I've been doing like 10% because I just go through it so much. So I have my some alcohol, some of the Glass Plus, which I threw the bottle out, and I put a couple of drops of the glycerin in here, so it helps break it up a little bit. And then whenever these things get full, I have another one outside that I pour it in, and I just let the sun evaporate it. I don't try to throw it in down the sink. And then when these get all caked up, I just throw these away. It's better than getting all this stuff in your pipes. Yeah, the airbrush cleaner stuff works great. So if you get this bottle right here, I use for when I have like stuff that's at the bottom and it won't get out. I squeeze that in there like this because it's a nice thin stream. And these right here, I just kind of do that and I pour it out. You don't want all this stuff sitting in your pipes, you know, from your sink or whatever, because over time it'll probably get really caked up. So this stuff, you can see, kind of gets really nasty at the bottom. So it's better just to let it evaporate in the sun or in your garage. Alright, let's kind of bring the camera back without going crazy. So that's my little airbrush cleaning spot. So let me look this over and make sure we're looking pretty decent. And it's going to give it a coat of matte varnish. Yeah, Scott, all silly putty. That's what I use. This is a saran wrap. Just regular saran wrap. I found that this saran wrap I use is probably the best bang for your buck. So I get this 3,000 square feet Kirkland stretch tight. You get this off Amazon. And I just bought a new one recently because the other one lasted me about 4 or 5 years, I think, for masking of all the work I've done. So if you get one of these, or even like a 2000 one, it'll probably last you a long time. But this stuff is great for us with saran wrap. But yeah, silly putty is what I use for the normal masking on everything. Pull this part off. Okay. It's great for food as well, you're right. Sometimes when I need it, I'll come into the garage, into the studio and use it to wrap something for the fridge, but I try not to because there's probably a lot of dust in my box there from all the dust in the studio. So I don't want to get like resin dust all over my like pasta or something. Alright, so I think I'm going to do her pouch on her leg, and then we'll do the little piece on her belt last, and then the base I'm going to paint up whenever I get a chance. I would do it today, but I don't think I don't know if I sanded it. Yeah, I sanded it enough. Maybe I can. We'll see. I was thinking of doing a marble base. Something a little fun. The only problem is if I do the marble base, I have to coat it with clear coat, let it dry 2 days, give it a little bit of a sanding, do another clear coat, and do a couple clear coats on it. So the only problem is I didn't paint the bottom, but I could always paint the bottom later. Weather's getting nice finally, so I've been going crazy working on stuff in the garage. So I gotta pull out the Psylocke kit, show you guys what's doing that later. Harley Quinn, we voted on the winner. So I gotta start planning out the Harley Quinn custom. A lot going on. I finished the Darth Croc statue. So I gotta film that tomorrow. I gotta get that posted. I also finished the Wolverine kit for somebody. I did a review on the Jubilee kit I'm working on for my friend. So got a lot of stuff going on. Hey Raphael, how's it going? Yeah, she's not bad for a filler item. I wouldn't say it's my best, but still kind of fun to mess around with these animes a little bit, get used to them a little bit more. I'm so used to sideshow scale stuff. I'm not used to the animes where a little more like bow and stuff. Plus they are a little different because they're anime. But I think if I can mess around with them a little bit more. Now, I don't want to do straight pearl, so I want to mix some of the dark green in with the pearl. See how this works. So I think that's pretty much it. Pretty happy with it. A little bit darker than the anime picture. So I'm thinking for the base, sort of maybe a dark grayish marble that's shiny. I don't want it to be bright to fight with her since she's dark, so I'll make the base a little bit darker. So if you go to your color wheel, let's see, forget the color wheel. So if you go into anywhere and you just do color wheel, opposite color of green is kind of red. That's the complementary color. So maybe we could do a dark reddish marble effect. But that might take too much away from her. So maybe we'll just do like a really dark grayish blue. Really dark. I think that'll probably be better. So we need to put her aside. There's also fall. Alright, whenever I paint up something that has keys, always try to make sure you don't get paint inside the key because it's going to be a nightmare trying to put the piece in later. So a little silly putter, you can make life easy. So normally I don't like to spray cans of paint in the house, but this is going to make it life a little easier. So I'm going to be sponging on it anyway, so it'll fumes to go away. So this is just a little bit left of this flat black from Duplicolor. This is a really great color. They're flat black and they're universal black. Come out of the can really nice. So I figure I might as well use it. Now it doesn't really matter that you spray this base with this and then you put like acrylics on top of it. I've never really had a problem because it's kind of like a black base and this dries up fairly fast. Could use a blow dryer if you want to speed it up. Now, I don't know if you guys can see in the camera, but you see how there's kind of like a grayish rim around here, but it's not, and this is solid black in here. That's because of there's like moisture and it doesn't cure correctly. That's the only thing I found about these spray cans. You got to find a really nice day. You got to make sure you have a really nice primer on everything and you spray it, and sometimes you get that grayish ring because it's got like moisture and it's not curing correctly. But it doesn't really matter for this because I'm painting over it anyway. But if you wanted to do a black base and you get this ring stuff, it's because you're having like moisture issues, or it's not primed correctly, or you spray too heavy and I hit it with the blow dryer. You gotta let it dry natural. So that's kind of why that happened, but it's not a big deal though. But it dries fairly fast, you know, to the touch. It's just a good base. Alright, so this is my crap bottle. This is kind of where I throw a lot of paints. If I have the cup that has like a lot of paint in it, I'll throw that cup of paint in here. But if my cup has a little tiny drop of paint, then I just wash it out. But this is kind of like it's become a grayish, bluish, like metallic. And I kind of use this for bases a lot. So you can kind of see it's got a, not a bad color to it. So this has like, you know, all types of brands of colors, all kinds of pearls, metallics. It's good enough for what I'm doing. So we got some Mars Black. I had a bottle of Ether Black, but this is, I think I've had this bottle since I was in art school. So it's still going on since 1995. And it's still running pretty well. Just don't use the bottle much. Hey, what's up, child of the atom? I don't think I'm gonna be doing the jean paint up tonight because somebody decided to do a customization on it, and we call that person an a-hole. I was gonna paint it tonight, but I have to let it cure by that that thing, so I guess I'll show you guys. I'm putting up the review Sunday probably. So this is the Jubilee kit. So this piece right here was actually pushing her hand out like that far. So I was asked to kind of tweak it so I could get the hand as close as possible, which I did. So what I did is I chopped out this area and I kind of reworked the jeans like it's pushing it, well, the jacket back. So it kind of fits in there nice and snug now. But I have to get in there and sand this down and clean it up before I start painting any of this because of all this dust and everything. So what happens when you help your friends? They decide to change everything on you without telling you. Hey Jacob. Yeah, I took off for Memorial Day weekend. I needed a break. And then all the days I've been working, I've been in the garage, so no Picardo stuff. Well, once I get these kits prepped, I'll probably be doing a bunch of Picardo stuff during the week while I'm painting stuff, especially that Jubilee that somebody, we won't mention any names. Yeah, if any of you guys are on my Patreons, get in the Patreon. I posted the Psylocke that I'll be working on, and also Harley Quinn. I finalized the winner. We'll go over Harley Quinn after I finish this up. So I'm thinking of a base just like that for Shego. So, you know, like, nothing super crazy. I don't even think I want to do like lines on it, like squiggly lines like marble. I think something simple and shiny would look good. I don't know, do you guys think I should do the feather lines or just leave it like this? I don't know, you guys let me know. Keep it like this? Alright, that's fine. Because I think once it gets shiny, like once I gloss coat it, and then I gloss coat it again, and I gloss coat it again, it won't be as crazy, so... Alright, we'll leave it like that. So this will be her against it, so you can see how it would look. Alright, we could do that. So I need to put her over here. Let that set up, and then we... Now, whenever you do sponge work like this, and then the way I sprayed it, I like to let it cure for like a day or two before I do my clear coat, only because that sponge stuff and that paint, like this Liquitex stuff, doesn't dry as fast as you would like it to, so it's good to let this cure up for a day or two. So we'll let that sit aside. Pretty simple, nothing crazy. Alright, let's get this stuff over, and then we'll kind of go over Harley. Alright, so let's put this picture away, and then let's put this one up. Alright, so this is what won in the poll. I forget the exact name of the character. Raz knows the character. So, now there's like 30 different versions of this character that has different outfits. So I made a post on Patreon, and we're gonna sort of narrow it down. Cyril Brooklyn, that's who it is. So say we do like something like this version, but we could do it with like the zipper is going down, so you see some cleavage. The same thing with the part over there. Or if we do this part up here with the tie, we can make it actually look like the tie is loose and it's all a mess. So there's a couple different like outfits here that Raz kind of picked for his choice. So I know she has guns too, so I was thinking, so her mallet is on her hand. Maybe what we could do is we could find a like a double barrel shotgun or something, and make a really large shotgun on her hand, you know? Because we have to come up with something here, and she has a lot of guns, this character. Or if there's a sniper rifle that's really long, maybe we could put like some kind of sniper rifle, but we could put one of those bang signs, one of those flags that come out of the sniper rifle, bang like Joker does. That's another idea. Definitely going to keep the mask though. We're going to keep the mask. We're not going to do glasses like that one character had. I think, did they have glasses? I can't really tell. I'm too small on my screen. So we don't have to do the hat. We can give her like, you know, like a hair, like a style. We could come up with a style of hair too. Hey, what's up, the customizer? See, the problem is you can't break her shoulders, because I was going to do this in the past, and whenever I looked at her, her anatomy is backwards and up. So you see how her shoulders are up and back? You can't really break it. It would just look weird. It's more of a pose that something has to be on her, like she's got to have it on her back. So I'm thinking like a big gun would work. Well, the customizer, well, what we're doing with the Patreons is we're going to kind of mix and match. Like number 2, Raz already said that there's like some statues or anime kits of her already. So we might try to take some elements from each character and sort of come up with a Harley Quinn. Because the idea, Raz said, it would be loosely based on her. So I'm going to try to do some Photoshop work and see if I could come up with some ideas, and then the patrons could kind of see what would work. I mean, personally, I kind of like number 3, only because that gives me the option of, you know, like we can mess with some silly putty now. So the cool thing is, like, each character has like shoulder pads. So if we were to give her a little bit more of like the shoulder pad, you know, look, like if we kind of did that, that actually might play better to putting something on her shoulder. Almost. So this is kind of like just some brainstorming, just kind of like come up with some ideas, just to see how it would look. So if we did the version like number 3, you know, so she had her skirt. So let's see, let me pull this down a little bit so it doesn't hit me in the head. So say we did the skirt, so we just take this piece here, right, and we give her sort of a high skirt, right, so that's that layer of skirt, right? And then say she has the next layer of skirt. That's the fun thing about Silly Putty, you could kind of slap this on there and give you an idea. So the second part of her goes like that, right? And she has a belt, like so. I know it's not perfect. So she has a belt. And this right here is kind of like where that zipper would be. So you could kind of bring this piece down like so, like it's kind of up here on her neck. Then it could kind of come down into here. You know, you could do something like that, or we can bring it in a little bit more. So it's not like super Catwoman like, more just like kind of brought up to the neck area, you know? So you can do something like that. I mean, I'll do the Photoshop work and stuff when I get a chance. It's gonna take a while. And then, you know, she would have the armband, like on her armband. Yeah, you know, you could, we could do the slits. There's a lot of possibilities of what we can do. So that, I mean, if we wanted to go, I'm just going off of 3 at the moment, you know. So we're just kind of seeing what 3 would look like, you know. So that could be the shirt, but like say the skirt right here, you can slit the skirt with the shirt, you know, and you could kind of do something like that. I don't know. It's kind of a play with it a bit. And then, you know, whatever we do though, we're also gonna have the diamonds on her, so we would have to probably maybe throw like diamonds over here type thing, you know, diamonds over there, and then maybe a diamond thing up over here, or maybe you know, maybe our shoulder pieces would have the diamonds, so when you have the part up here, it would have like the diamond over in here type thing. So it's kind of like something, you know, I'm thinking in my head, just kind of brainstorming out loud. Now we don't have to do pure cleavage. We could also do it where it looks like she has a bra there too, you know. So it looks like there's a bra there, but then we also have, you know, that type of thing too. Well, Jacob, we're just brainstorming now, but the patrons, you know, if you're on my Patreon or any other patrons, gotta post and see what they want. You know, a lot of them might want number 4. You know, so let's so that's like number 3, right? That's number 3. Let's like make an outfit of number 4 right now, just to see what number 4 would look like. So that gives you an idea of number 3. Number 2, if you look online, you can see some anime kits of number 2. So that'll give you an idea what they did with that one. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too, Raccoon, but make sure you post on the page I posted. You know. I don't mind making her a little bit, not slutty, but not fully like nude underneath. So like say we go number 4, right? Just say we go number 4. So what we could do is we can do the same thing, but it kind of comes there like so, right? And then it comes like this. I mean, number 4 is not bad looking either, you know. That might almost be where we can actually, so you see how number 4 is? We can actually cut it here, right? And you can have like red, red, black, black, you know. So I know it's not perfect, but it gives you guys an idea. Alright. So what we do is you slice this down there for that piece. So that's the zipper. And what we can do is we can bring that in a little bit more type thing. And then, like I said, we cut it here, right? So you see how that might sort of look. So it would be like number 4, but you have the zipper here, then we slice it around there, and then you can put like a diamond here type thing, diamond there. You know, you can put a diamond over in here type thing, and then you can have a bra. So like number 4 is an option. Of course, then you would have to do the stuff with the leggings. You know, the leggings would have to look like this type thing. So, we got that option. So there's a couple ways of doing it. It all depends on where everybody wants to go. If you want to see more skirt, you know, you got the skirt ideas. The reason why I put number 3 in there with the 4 girls is because you got the one in the... Like, let's shrink this one up a bit. So you got the one that's right here. That one right there is sort of got the leggings, and then these don't have the leggings. You know? So there's a couple ways of doing it. Now number 2. Now if we go with number 2. I think no matter which one we do, unless people want number 1, is probably split the chest open so we can see the bra. That would probably be like one of the best things going for that. But if we do number 2, so number 2 has a higher skirt. So say the skirt comes up to about this high, right? The skirt comes around there. It would probably be split more like this way type thing. Now the only problem is I don't think I could do the boots on her. I think we're going to keep the shoes as is because she's got such a weird setup with her feet. So I think we're going to keep her shoes as is, only because I think it'll cause more problems. So this kind of goes up a little higher. Right. And then what we could do is, if we wanted to, we can cut this going up this way. And it goes up like that. So then you got that sort of that look. Hey, what's up, GB Paint Studio? How you doing? So you got sort of that look too. Now, like I said, I know it's rough. So this one would be more under boob, whereas the other ones would be more cleavage. But I think no matter which one we pick, though, they're going to have the shirts coming up this way. So it's going to be a very baggy shirt up top. You know? So I guess the main thing about this whole custom is going to be the main outfit here. I know a lot of them have boots and stuff, but I think like if we look at number 3, if you see the one that's here, the second one over, let's see over here, right? You see those shoes? We could, those shoes are almost these shoes here, you know? except that these shoes have these flaps. So we can almost cut these flaps though and make those kind of shoes at the bottom, you know? So that's a possibility. But a lot of them look like they have not heels though. So she's got high heels on, so that changes that up. So those are the options. Now as far as hair goes, like, where is it? So that's doesn't have the hair. Right now I'm just putting Silly Putty onto this Harley Quinn. This is a Patreon's choice character. So those 4 anime characters over here is one from the poll. So I'm just kind of going over some options that some of my Patreons could look at the video later, and we're going to try to come up with an anime outfit like that for Harley Quinn. That's kind of the goal. So you can either do like one of those outfits or a mix and match of them and go from there. Now as far as the hair goes, you know, Harley Quinn's got the pigtails and stuff, so let's grab the other head. So say, we're not using this head though, but just say that I sculpt pigtails on her like a style. We could throw the hat on her, you know. We could find a way to incorporate the hat onto her without screwing up the hair. So let's see if I can sort of make a hat. Not that I ever did a hat like this before. So say we kind of we could sort of put the hat on her, you know, in a way. So I wouldn't sculpt hair like this. I'm not really a fan of this hair, but I would give her that bubbly hair, you know, and then you could sculpt the hat, you know, sort of coming down in front of her eye a bit, in a sense. I don't know, something like that. And then you could kind of have the bangs popping out of the hat. That's another idea. But if we don't do the hat per se, actually, the girl in number 3, all the way to the right, she's got a lot of hair back there, so we could almost sort of give her a lot of hair coming in the back. And sort of give her the hat too. I don't know, something weird like that. That's a possibility. We'll have to brainstorm it. So hopefully the patrons will come up with some stuff. I think Sunday I'll, when I'm done editing my videos, I'll do some Photoshop work. Maybe we'll come up with a little bit of an idea. I don't know, Raz, is there any characters with longer hair that might fit a Harley in this outfit? You know the character more than I do, so. So if we go with 4, we would have to sculpt the underwear first, and then sort of sculpt the bra first, and then from there roll out Aves and add Aves to the item and sort of plan it out. Oh, where's my pencil? Yeah, that's fine. I'm just, So, I mean, so what do you think, Raz? I mean, we got some options, you know? It's just a matter of seeing what we could come up with. I mean, I kind of like number 3 the best, because, like I said, we can sort of unzip it. Come down here with it. We can even give her a shorter skirt. The other thing too is we don't have to split it on the side. That's the other thing too. Like say we put the skirt here, like so. We can actually split it here instead, actually. You know? Split it more there. Yeah, number 2 seems kind of doesn't really fit Harley. I think number 3 and 4 would fit her better. Number 1 is not bad, but number 1, it's you got the tie and you got all that stuff up here, and it kind of hides everything. All right, I'll do some Photoshop work. Send me some pictures, and then Sunday I'll make another post, and we could go from there. Yeah, like I said, if we went number 4, you slice it here. Let's slice it here, and then you would have red, black, black, black. I mean, red, red, black, black, like the outfit. And then you can throw the triangles over up here, since sort of she has some stuff there. Put the triangle over here on the shoulder. Sort of create the gloves. Take off, well, we could leave these pieces here or take them off. It all depends on... The hardest part of this is going to be this item. If we put a gun here, then I have to make sure the gun lines up with the hands, holds it. I might even have to get a different hand printed up. So I'll have to search on what we could do there. Raz, do these cop anime girls have anything but guns, or is it just mostly guns? So they have batons, nightsticks. That might actually not be bad. Like a huge, like, gimmick nightstick on her. That could work. I don't have any rods big enough. I think I gotta find them, but... You know, maybe put a big nightstick here, and then you have the piece of the nightstick hanging up over here, you know, like so high, like thing. And then it could be black, but it could also have like writing on it, like you know, like some Harley writing or something on it. That's actually not it. That's something I'll run by the patrons. See what they want more. She's pretty much ready to go. I cleaned her all up. I got the head cleaned up. So depending on what type of hair we do though, I have to figure out if I'm going to add ears or not. I would like to hide the ears because I'm not good at sculpting them, but... Alright, I'll look at that, Raz. If they got like something of a cool nightstick that they use, maybe we can make that but bigger. I'll have to look into that. But I cleaned her up a lot. I still got more to go around the back area. I've been sanding a lot of it down, cleaning up. You see all these hard scratches that were filled in here. I cleaned up underneath the neck in here. I rebuilt some of this. I still got a little bit more of the sanding in the faces to go. I worked out the chest today a little bit more because it was really weird looking. So I figured if we're going to show the chest, I better clean it up more. So I did that. Alright, I still have those links. I'll go through them, Raz, on Sunday. But yeah, that's where we are with Harley. Should be a fun one to start working on. So the other thing I'm going to be working on is, I'm going to show it to you now. Razor Studio produced a Psylocke statue, and I got a kit from them. I'm gonna post a video up on Sunday as well, what I'm doing with this. But I'll give you guys an idea of where she's at right now, what's going on. Do I have a picture of her? Yeah, I think I... Do I? No, I don't. Probably not. Yeah, let me find the picture real quick. Give me 1 second. Alright, I'll link it in chat. That is We Are Collector's Instagram page. Nice guy. So that is the Psylocke statue that I have right here. And she comes with 3 heads and 2 sets of arms. Now, while I like all the options, I'm not a fan of owning a statue that has all these options, because I'm always the type of person to pick out the one I like. And I just don't ever swap them out, you know. I have no clue. So I decided that this is the head I'll be using, and these are the arms I'll be using as well. So this arm has this piece goes in like so, and then this hand magnetizes there. So that's her side blade. Yeah, I really like this Psylocke because it's not your typical Jim Lee Psylocke. I'm sick of seeing Jim Lee, so I like this one a lot. But I want to customize it my own way, and that's kind of what I do. So I'm going to be using this arm on her. Now this arm holds the metal, whatchamacallit, the metal sword. But I decided that I don't want to use that sword. I'm going to use her side blade instead. So I'm going to customize it so the side blade goes in here. And she's going to have her side blade and her sword blade like this. This is what I'm going to do for mine. And I'll never swap out all these parts of her. But I like this head, but I don't like this hair. So I'm actually going to re-sculpt the hair. So this is something I'm going to be doing on the streams while I work on Harley as well. So I like this head. It's a really sexy head. but I'm not a fan of the hair. So this head is really nice, but what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna utilize this hair, but I'm gonna chop it up a bit, and then I'm gonna sculpt over it. So I'm gonna create my own little hair, but I have to work it in a way where with this arm is here, the blade doesn't hit this hair. So I have to sort of design this in a way where this kind of goes in there, but doesn't mess the hair up. So that's gonna be a little tricky. I'll figure it out though. Now the other thing too is I have a pet peeve with companies and sculptors that create boob socks. I'm not a fan of the way this outfit, how they split the breasts. It seems that almost every sculptor is doing this, but it seems Sideshow, XM, and the other companies are starting to get away from boob socks, which is good. Because if you have a leotard or a bathing suit, this doesn't happen unless it's a wet t-shirt. So even though this item has all this texture, I'm going to fill this in and I'm going to rework this area here, and then I'm going to make it more of a leotard. And I'm going to lose the texture, but I don't really care because I'll kind of fix it in a way where it's not there, you know. Now the other thing is her booty. We're going to be changing up the booty. Hey, tag ammo? Yeah. Yeah, Archer. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. It's good. Thanks for reminding me. Any of you guys that don't know, Archer Fine Transfers for those ID decals and all the other stuff, he's actually retiring, and they're going to be closing down the business this year. So if you guys are looking for any ID decals and you've been on the fence, now's your time to order, because once he's gone, I don't know anybody else that makes ID decals. I did actually get my order in because I ordered a little while ago. Where's my box? Yeah, so I got my box in. So I went crazy and I ordered a shitload. Because I figured I'll probably be needing these down the line. And he also did I think these are the new ones too, where you don't have to cut the paper around the eye. I think it's actually printed with the eye, and the whole circle just slides right off now. I think these are the new ones, so you don't have to cut it the way I used to cut the old ones. So if you guys are looking for eye decals, get on them while you can, because by the end of the year, they're gone. If you guys want, I'll post his link in the description. If you guys do put in an order, you're going to have to probably give him some time, because he said that they're probably going to be getting swamped with orders before they close shop for good. So it might take a little while to get some of your stuff. Alright, so right now, they're going to open back up on the 12th. So, just a word of advice for any of you guys that like the eye decals. Grab a couple extra sheets while you can. Alright, so, on to her booty. Now, I realize they casted it this way, and they designed it. Yeah, Butterfly, go ahead and order them when you can. He says the 12th they're opening back up the site. I'm going to order a little extra, and then if down the line maybe anybody that didn't know that I deal with and they missed out, I might have a couple extra sheets to sell people. But I just went ahead and ordered like $200 worth of shit because I figured, what the hell. Alright, so you can see the way they did the back of this booty area here. I really don't like the way they did this. Now I know they did it because of casting, but I'm going to redo the whole booty on her. And we'll do this on the stream. Next time I start doing some sculpt work, I'm going to chop this up. and I'm going to attach the legs. Now, normally I don't like to attach the legs the way this is, but I figure I don't really give a shit because I'm going to have to get in between the legs anyway. It's really hard to have something fine-tuned here and then have it split to paint and put it together. So I want to clean up the crotch area too a bit. So like I said, I know there's texture here, but I'm going to clean all this up. So I'm going to redo her chest, I'm going to clean up her crotch area, and I'm also going to work out the booty area too. So this is all going to get reworked. So her outfit might like change a bit in a sense. So we'll see how it looks when I'm done. But I really like the sculpt though. I like the wrinkles in the outfit. I like the way they did this patching stuff here. So it's like this might be leather paint and this might be something else. So yeah, I gotta really plan this out a little bit. And I'm gonna give her a different belt. She came with a belt, but I'm gonna sculpt my own belt. Yeah, so that's a Psylocke kit. So I'll post a video up on this as Sunday, and then hopefully I'll get her chopped up next day. I'm in the garage and we can start working on this. So let me put this stuff aside so I don't snap it or break it. Yeah, Raccoon, I'm gonna fix that boob socks. They call it the boob socks. My friend does. She says, "Why do they have boob socks?" I said, "I don't know." Yeah, I never heard about that before until she told me. I showed her the picture and she was like, "Why?" I was like, "I don't know," but that's what she's got. If you notice a lot of the fan art stuff on you know, like Instagram or Facebook pages, a lot of sculptors do that. They actually sculpt it separated. Only because Jim Lee drew it that way, everybody sculpts it that way. Doesn't make any sense to me. But this is the anime kit that I've been working on. So I went ahead and I pretty much almost got this ready. So this is going to go in like so. Alright. And then I'm going to build my wall when it's all done and painted. I'm going to build a wall around here and then we're going to pour in the clear resin. So it's going to look like she's kind of stepping out of a pool. So that's what I came up with for this so far. So I think it should look pretty cool when it's done. So I have my sand wheel in the garage, and what I did is I put this on the sand wheel and I just kind of turned it. And I just kept sanding it down. So the only thing is I gotta fix up this little weird switch in here. So I added a piece down here, and you can see all the layering. I gotta kind of patch all this up. Gotta sand all this down. That's what I got so far for her. So this hopefully I could start painting too when I get a chance. Get that cleaned up. I've been doing a lot of prep stuff, so I really don't have a lot of stuff ready to go. So I've just been kind of getting stuff cleaned up. So I've been sanding down her face area. I sanded down this part here. I still got more work to go on here. So I want to start sculpting her too, so hopefully I could do work on her, work on Harley, work on Psylocke, and kind of get this up. So I got to add wrinkles into her arms, here and here, which I might do now. Then I got to sculpt the fur on her arms, and then I'm going to do the hair. But I've been trying to get all this stuff prepped up, and just had to do it all in the garage. Okay, so on to Hyperion. So I want to paint Hyperion too. So like I said, I got a lot of shit going on right now. So I went ahead in the garage and I sanded him down this week. I still got a lot of cleaning up to do because a lot of these areas here I just kind of cleaned up and I primed it, but I got some more putty work to do around here. So you can kind of see what I did with all the wrinkles and the rips. So, a lot more to go on him. The only problem though is if I finish him, I don't know where the hell I'm going to put him until I get the TV room set up. But he's been getting there pretty well too. Almost there. So I think if I could get another day in the garage of all this stuff, I can get him ready for paint. But looking pretty good. What else have I been doing? Alright, and also this kit. So I finally had a chance. I had the other day when I was working, I had some extra Aves. So I started adding her diamonds for Harley. So a little bit more on her, not much. Just kind of more side stuff here and there. And I got her on her base too finally. So that is that. At least it's something on the side I can do for extra parts here and there. I gotta sand down the bottom of all this though. It's all messed up down in here. I gotta clean all this out. So she's getting worked on. Alright, so now this is another project. Another one I got going on. So, somebody contacted me through a friend saying that they didn't want the Wonder Woman statue anymore because it was broken. And they asked me if I wanted it. So I said, yeah, I'd take it. So, while I was in the garage, whenever I work in a garage, I always bring as much stuff possible that day. Because if I'm going to be in there for 2 hours getting dirty, I might as well spend 8 hours getting tons of stuff chopped up. So, my friend is going to print me out a right arm for her. And then we got a left hand that was missing. I'm going to get that going. And then I'm going to use this poison ivy head for this statue. And I know what character I'm going to make. I won't tell you guys yet. But I think it's going to look pretty cool with this head on this statue. It's pretty much in scale. And it's going to be kind of cool to change up the head on this Wonder Woman statue. Now the only problem with this Wonder Woman statue, if any of you guys got it, they casted up so many of her that she started warping in her legs. So I think they made, what did they make, like almost like 10,000 of these? Or was it 15, no, well what was it, or was it like 8,500? I forgot how many they made. So I'm going to sand her legs down a little bit more, get all this like roughage weird, because it's kind of like rippled. My friend Meta John's got some other stuff printing, so he's going to print out those for me. And then I think this head on that's going to look pretty cool. Now the only problem though is I got to break the hair in the back. I got to kind of redo the hair and get her on there. So I think that's going to look pretty sweet. Was it 6,000 original? Because you had the EX, the regular, but I don't count the Russian one. I thought it was maybe 8,500 or 10,000. I forget. Anyway, there's so many of her out there, so I think this will look pretty good once it's done. So this is going to be another side project. Whenever I'm in the garage chopping stuff, I chop these items up while I'm chopping until I get to the point when it's ready to customize. Now I want to show you one more thing, which you guys are going to find interesting. Alright. So, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the Jean Grey head in the statue. Now, I did not realize how small her head is. Her head is actually really, really small. So if you compare her head to a Sideshow, you know, a DC head, it's actually way, way smaller. Now, it might look, if you go from side to side, you can see how small it is. If we grab another, let me grab a Power Girl head. Diabolical, 3D, you mean a 3D printer? I don't have a 3D printer, if that's what you're asking. So, look how small Jean Grey's head is to Power Girl. Right? So that is really, really small, because I got an extra one of these Jean Grey heads from someone. I was going to use this head for the Power Girl, like an extra head, and then I found out it was way too small. Way, way too small. Now, if we take the Jean Grey head and we put her next to Storm, look how small this head is compared to Storm. Diabolical, these are like Sideshow items. These are all like stuff you buy from Sideshow collectibles. So a lot of this stuff isn't really printed. It's just you know, it's just like a Harley Quinn statue that I actually stripped all the cloth off and redid. So, you can see the difference in scale with these heads. For some odd reason, this Jean Grey is really small, and this Storm is humongous. Even next to the Power Girl, Storm is actually bigger. Pretty close, but actually fairly close. Okay, Raz, I'll check it out. Yeah, so I think a lot of people said the Storm is actually overscaled compared to the other Marvel females. And I find that the Marvel females are actually smaller than the DC females. I never really checked the, even, well, I guess the Sideshow Superman is fairly larger. So this is the Superman, even though it's Hyperion, right? So I would say Storm is pretty much in scale with that. But if you put her, if you put Jean Grey next to him, she's super tiny. I don't know. I just figured I'd show it to you guys because I had this Storm head and I kind of compared them, and even my friends said that they were really, really scaled. Oh no, so this is the Starfire head, right? So you can see the Starfire head compared to the Jean, way small. And then if we compare Starfire to Power Girl, pretty much in scale. And then if we take Starfire and we compare her to Storm, pretty much in scale. So it seems like they took the Storm statue and scaled it with the DC stuff, but the Marvel stuff is smaller. I don't have a Marvel... No, I don't have another Marvel head I can actually scale. Do I? Thinking about it in my collection. No, I don't. Oh well. Yeah, just wanted to show you guys that it's kind of a crazy difference. I'll be doing something with this head too down the line. So, but this I got to do for my friend a ponytail. Hey, what's up, creative collector? Alright, I think I'm just gonna add some wrinkles into her arms. So this way, if I'm in the garage tomorrow, I can actually sand her down some more. Get her ready. These are old. Alright, so I'm mixing up my Aves, and I usually mix up a little bit of the Fix-It Aves with it, just to give a, sort of like the consistency it gives when they're both mixed together. I just had this in the fridge, that's why it's sort of tough. Let's mix a little safety solvent and start mixing it together. Wow, really? Well, I have to be on Twitch to do that, creative collector. YouTube would probably kick me off. Part B, this is, yes, part part B is the green. When your part B starts becoming yellow and gunky, and if it starts to get crusty, your B is going bad. And that happens a lot with the B. Let's see if I can give you an example. Wow, Creative Collector, that's kind of messed up. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Alright, so I had an old bottle in here. This is B. So see how it's all yellowed and kind of weird looking? And this has been in my refrigerator. And it's nice and fresh. So I actually have to throw this out. So see how it's like just nasty yellow? And if you split it apart, it's kind of like cracking. And it's kind of like, just like... And the inside's fresh though. Like if you could pull out that inside, you're okay. But if it's all this, see all that like nasty yellowish and that all that gunkiness, that's going bad on you. So that's something you don't want to happen. Yeah, so your B goes bad. This is fresh B. This has been in my refrigerator. You should keep your Aves in the refrigerator when you're not using it. Just make sure your caps are tight. Because if you don't keep it tight, too much moisture will probably get in there from the fridge. But you want to keep it fresh. Now, my B here has not been in the fridge. This is my regular Aves. You can see some are very red. Now, it's very, very light, but there's a little bit of yellowing going around the edges. Not much. But usually I try to keep pulling my Aves out. Now, I go through this a lot. So, I'm using this almost every single day. So, I don't need to keep this in the fridge that much. But if you guys are using it once a week, once every 2 weeks, put it in the refrigerator. So yeah, that's you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this bottle a couple times. So next time another stream somebody asks me, we can see how bad this gets over time. But yeah, it gets really nasty. So whenever you're getting yellowish gunk, this B is going bad. Diabolical, I use safety solvent. So when I mix this together, I have a little bottle here with safety solvent. Now, safety solvent is the best stuff you can use for Aves. You can buy it through the Aves store. So it's called Aves Safety Solvent. And basically, this is what you want to use to soften up your Aves, make it smooth, softer, make it more pasty. This is what you want to use. You don't want to use water, and you don't want to use alcohol. So I'll show you now why I use the Aves safety solvent. So what I want to do is I want to add wrinkles into the arms. So what we do is we take some of our Aves, a little bit in our finger, and we kind of squeeze it in. Let me get my goggles on. Find a paintbrush. Throw a little bit of Aves in there, safety solvent, and then we can just kind of smush it around. And then when you have too much, just cut it off. The only reason you don't want to use water, and I've talked to this with the owner of Aves, is the water soaks up the Aves. Well, the Aves soaks up the water, and it actually becomes brittle. Now, what you're doing, George, might be perfect for what you do, and it's fine. But if you mix a lot of water into it, it will crack on you. I've done it in the past. Like, I sculpted a whole item, and then the next day it just kind of peeled off. Yeah, diabolical. So basically, you know, we got that on there, right? So now I want to kind of create wrinkles. So we just kind of cut in with the Aves. And I sculpt with a paintbrush on everything. The safety solvent can help you clean your brushes too, but usually after a while the paintbrushes go bad. That's why I buy them cheap. So basically you kind of create wrinkles with that. And then we kind of do the same thing over here. Now I mixed up a little too much Aves, but that's alright. Yeah, if you use it for smoothing, it's good. But if you want really soft, gummy, like Aves, safety solvent will help do that. So, for example, if you mix up your Aves, and when you split it, see how this kind of splits a little bit, cracking right there? If that's happening everywhere, your Aves is really dried up. But if you take your safety solvent and you really work your safety solvent in there, right? It almost becomes like chewing gum, and it kind of stretches more softer. See how it's kind of like softer? So the safety solvent will give you a nice like chewing gum feel to it. Like really nice and soft. So that's why I like to dip my fingers in the safety solvent while I mix it, so you get a really nice soft Aves and it really goes on nice and smooth. Now, a couple things with the safety solvent is it will rip up your primer and it will rip up your paint. So if you're going to be doing it on a painted item, you're going to have to be very careful. Like say all the Aves that got around her arm, like if you keep working that safety solvent in there, you'll start pulling up the primer. See how it's coming up on my finger? So it's just something to kind of be wary of if you're using it. Kind of hard to get back there with the head in the way, but just trying to fix up the one little broken part. Now I buy my brushes in bulk from the store. It's called Jerry's. It's not Jerry's Artorama. I think it's Jerry's Outlet. It's up North Jersey from me. and they always have back to school sales, so I always destroy my paintbrushes because that's what I sculpt with. But get them fairly cheap. You used to be able to get them for like $1.20, but then with inflation, they're like almost $1.80 now. But this past sale, like a week ago, they were like actually $1.60, so I snagged like $200 worth. So I want to do wrinkles on this arm too. Sometimes it's good to wet the item too a little bit with safety solvent, then put the Aves on to help stick it. No problem, George. I'll show you my paintbrush things I got. I know some people use tools. I like the paintbrush. So I went ahead and I buy all these brushes. So each brush usually could go through like maybe one project or two projects, depending on what I'm sculpting. So I try to buy these as much as I can. Yeah, they're just like regular. Let's see, they're called Black Silver Dynasty. So this store gets these things in like bulk, and they're usually on sale for back to school, holiday sales, summertime sales. So they're usually like $2 something a brush, but if you're lucky, you get them for like $1.70. Or there's other brushes out there that you might like too, you can test, that might be cheaper. So it all depends. Or if you like using, I know a lot of guys that use those, these rubber tips. I don't like using this with Aves though, because I think this Aves sticks to this stuff too much, so I don't use the rubber tips on this. So you see I used a lot of the safety solvent, you know, to smooth that out. If you use just straight up water, the water doesn't smooth it like it does here if you use just water. So we'll kind of show you. So say we just take this piece back here. Let's just throw it on something stupid. You know what, we'll just throw it on my hand. Alright, so anyway, so say the safety solvent is, you're not using it, you're using water. So if you start using water on this, see how it starts getting cloudy? See, the water, like, kind of creates this cloudiness, and kind of, the Aves starts soaking up the water. Now, it does smooth it out. I'm not saying that you can't smooth it out with water. It's fine. But it creates that cloudiness, gunk stuff on it, because it's not really, it's like pulling the Aves off of the other Aves, and it kind of creates that. Now if you start mixing it up with water, what'll happen is you'll get all that milkiness. Like you start mixing up with water, you start getting all this like milky, and it starts kind of breaking it up. The Aves just doesn't like water basically, so if you keep mixing it with water, it gets really nasty and milky, and it doesn't really like, it starts kind of pulling apart and kind of not doing what you want, right? So that's what happens with water. But if you take a little bit with the safety solvent, when you mix it in with the safety solvent, it gets it stays nice and smooth. Becomes like chewing gum. You spread it apart and it's like, you know, nice and smooth going apart. So you get a little bit of a different take. So this is semi-tacky, but the water makes this really, really tacky. Like this is like sticking to my finger a lot, where this is kind of like not sticking as much, but it's still tacky. So yeah. Now that I mixed that up with water, I actually won't even use this back into that. But that's just an experiment to show you. Now, if you're say we're, I don't know, we mixed this up an hour ago, and in another 40 minutes the Aves is starting to get a little bit tougher. If you got enough safety solvent and you don't mind doing it, you can actually bring the Aves back to life, but it'll become really, really, really tacky. But if you needed to soften it up and just throw it in like a crevice, you can kind of bring it back with some of the safety solvent. And be careful too, if you have safety solvent on your hand and you're holding your item, you will start pulling up like primer. So I do that way too much and I need to cut it out. Jacob, it was just a side thing I've been working on. It's one of these items that have been sitting on my shelf for like 2 years now. And I'm really getting sick of looking at it. Sometimes I do a side project and I'm all gung-ho about it. And then I just fall out of love doing it and it kind of just starts collecting dust until I get like that itch to get back onto it. And this was one of those items. Plus, I think I started working on it before the lockdown stuff, so there was all that stuff too. So figured now it's kind of just get it done and throw it up on eBay fairly cheap and see what happens. One of those things. So you can kind of see how I created the little wrinkles with the Aves, and so a lot of that might get hidden, and even this stuff might get hidden, but it's always better to do it before I do the hair, just in case I do the hair and it shows, and then try to fit it in later. I did plan out the hands and arms for April O'Neil, so I didn't forget about her. That's at my friend's. He's going to be printing out some hands for me, so whenever I get those hands, I can get back on that item too. Oh, CBS Labs, yeah. I actually have 2 items on order with them. I'm getting 2 kits from them so far. One is going to be the Psylocke, where she's got the kimono. She's, you know, with her top is kind of, she has no top on. And then I'm also getting the Black Queen that's sitting on the chair. But I'm going to be customizing them though. So it's kind of like, the Black Queen is for me, the Psylocke is just kind of like a YouTube video thing. They seem to do fine. I haven't heard any problems from them. They have a lot of stuff coming out though, so it's not like they're just doing like 1 or 2 items. They have a lot of stuff in the works. Now I saw the X23 that you're talking about, and it looked fine to me. I didn't really see any problems with it. She's a little bit more of an athletic build on it, so if that's kind of what you're into, it's not bad. But it's not a character I really care about, so I kind of saw it, and then I just kind of like, it's X23, whatever, you know? But the sculpt looked pretty good. If you want to sort of like a museum pose of her just kind of standing there. But you could follow him on Instagram. That might be a good way to follow him as well, because I know he has a Facebook page. I just follow him on Instagram because I'm not on YouTube. I mean, I'm not on Facebook, though. But yeah, I mean, his stuff seems pretty good. He did a really good Aurora Singh Star Wars female statue, and I absolutely fell in love with it, but I didn't buy it though because I can't buy everything. But yeah, he does some decent stuff, and he's got a lot coming out. Like, he has a lot. I mean, yeah, if you guys are wanting to see a lot of statues coming out, We Are Collectors and CBS Labs on Instagram. They show off a lot of stuff that they make and that other people make and stuff. No, not the bathtub one. It's the one she's sitting on the chair. So if you follow CBS Labs, he actually did doing one where she's sitting on the chair. It's based off of some guy's artwork on Instagram. The one going into the bathtub was pretty good, but not something I kind of really wanted. You know what it is a lot of these guys are doing amazing sculpts, but I can't buy them all. And I would love to own them, but I don't have the money or room. So I just like to see what they're doing. But sometimes I see something where I just want to get it for a YouTube video. You know, like a paint series or something. It's just that it takes a long time for the stuff to come out. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like I always tell people, if you like it and it's something that's a grail and you really want it, contact CBS Labs and try to get one, you know? It'll be a while before it comes out, but he seems to get his stuff out the door. But the only downside is you don't know what shipping is going to be until it's ready to ship. So if shipping keeps going up, by the time it comes out in like a year from now, it could be even more than what you expect. But that's the price of the game right now. I know some guys have paid almost the same cost in shipping that it was just to buy the item. And even though they put it in an order like a year or two ago, you know? Well, as far as Gwen goes, I think everybody and their mama is doing Gwen. It's either Venomized Gwen, regular Gwen. I'm just kind of sick of seeing Gwen everywhere, so... But I mean, if that's your character, then more power to you. Yeah, that's true, Jacob, so... Only thing recently I ordered, which is like the holy grail, was that Bayonetta statue from Hummingbird Studios. I have to get that statue because it's like the statue I've always wanted of Bayonetta. But other than that, I haven't really seen anything else coming out that I jumped on. Although I did see the Sideshow Catwoman statue in person, which is the latest Sideshow museum pose Catwoman from Sideshow. And if you look on the pictures on their site, the statue is kind of it doesn't look right, but I actually saw it in person and it is actually really nice in person. So I'm thinking I might want to get one for a custom, only because the anatomy was really, really good. I mean, I don't care about the character, but the statue was pretty cool, so... That might be a good item for another character I want to customize for myself. So I'm gonna kind of like play it by ear if I find one cheap. Or if they have it on sale, because a lot of stuff is going on sale now at Sideshow. Because I guess, you know, like inflation and everything. So if she pops up on sale, maybe I'll get one. What, a new Catwoman? They already, well, it's not really new. They showed it last year, but it's actually shipping now. It's the one where she's kind of standing and she's kind of has her hand out holding a gem. I think what it is, it's one of those sculpts where if you take a picture of it, it doesn't look right, but when you see it in person, it looks good. But I think what it is there's just so many Catwomans out there too. People are like, I don't need another one. So maybe if they have like, you know, a Black Friday sale and she's on there or something, maybe I'll snag one. Yeah, the exclusive is where she's holding the Batman's mask. That's it. Yep, that's the one. Just one of those items that you gotta see in person to appreciate it. I still got a lot of characters I need to make for myself, so that might be one to use. I think by the time I make all my characters and I kind of customize myself, I'll probably be old as shit, and I'll have to go into a retirement home and then sell them all off. But keeps me busy. The Catwoman where she had the cloth on, I still say that's one of my favorite sculpts too. I actually have one here on the, I found one cheap a while ago, like really cheap. I'm using that one to customize a character for myself, but I haven't done anything yet. What, Butterfly? What's morbid? Did I say something wrong? Oh, by the time I retire? Oh, yeah. Well, I got so many characters I want to make. I mean, if I didn't have to, you know, if I didn't turn this into a business and have to pay my mortgage, I would just make my own stuff all damn day long. But I gotta put food on the table, you know? Yeah, it's never gonna end. But I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. One day maybe I'll get all the characters I want. That's the fun about it. Keep having a list and keep going making stuff. I think once, like after I get a lot of stuff done this rest of the summer and fall, and I get my TV room set up, I can actually start working on those Power Girls. Get all those Power Girls done, and then I can start working on some of these other personal items. Really really get caught up on stuff. Then again, the way DC is going, who knows if they're even going to make more products of them, unless they license it all out to everyone else. It's not good, Raz. Hopefully it wasn't too long of a print. That base has got a lot of cleaning I gotta do, but it's getting there. Now that I think of it, I hope I have enough clear resin. I might not, actually. Oh shit, that's not going to be enough. I'm going to have to pull the wall in more, actually. Damn it. So if you put it here like so, it's only gonna fill up to about there, like right about there. So now that I think about it, I gotta pull this in a shitload more. So I gotta pull it back here more, and then actually, yeah. See, I thought I had more in here, but I don't. I don't want it to go too low. So I think what I need to do, the only reason why I just thought of that, I was in the sink washing my hands, and I was like, wait a second, do I have enough clear resin? So I think what I need to do is pull this in here more, pull this here a little bit more there, and then maybe a little bit more here. Yeah, I need to pull that in a shitload more. Jose, I don't need a 3D printer. I know like 50 people that have one. Guys like Raz in chat have a 3D printer. Meta John in Canada has a 3D printer. So I'll just pay them to deal with the headaches. Oh, wait a second. You also have this mixture. Duh. Alright, so I forgot you have a second mixture. Alright, so I have enough. Alright. I should have plenty then. If I mix the rest of this together, it should fill it up no problem. Alright, I got plenty. Hey, you're like Iceman in chat. You guys are like trying to get me to get a 3D printer, and I don't know why. I mean, if you think about it, the stuff I do, how many times do I need a 3D print? Maybe for an extra hand or an element on a base. I'm not really 3D printing kits. You know, I'm kind of like the garbage man of statues. I find them damaged or broken and I kind of redo them. Alright, so we got enough clear resin, so that's a good thing. So good on that front. Got about the second part. Do any of you guys know how long this stuff lasts? Like this UV resin? I bought this in the beginning of the summer and I haven't used it since, so I wonder if this stuff has a shelf life. Does it say that it has a shelf life? Doesn't say anything. Do they have a... I don't know. Let me, I bought this off of Amazon. And I'm kind of curious. Doesn't have a date on it. Let's grab a cup. See if it squeezes out. I completely forgot I had it, and I just saw it when I put the piece over there. It still squeezes out. You know what? We'll put it in the sun and see if it still works. I'll go put it in the sun real quick. Six months? I don't know. I think I bought it probably beginning of the summer. So when I was doing Ah, maybe even earlier than that when I was doing the Scooby-Doo girl bases. Oh well. Kind of curious to see how long it lasts. Now the other thing is, so I still haven't had a chance to finish Rogue yet, but so I don't want to waste the Aves. Just keep using all my extra Aves on the base till I'm ready to sculpt. Alright, let me wash out my brushes. Alright, I really don't have much else to do. I'm going to call the stream here. But if all goes well with Sunday with some photoshopping on Harley, and if the patrons give me some feedback, maybe we could start working on her next week, and also the Psylocke, and maybe add her into the mix as well. Unless I want to start painting some stuff. But I'm going to do Picardo this week. I'm going to start painting up that, whatchamacallit, that Jubilee kit. Wait, what is, Raphael, you took the message away. I was just reading it. What happened? I don't know how long that resin lasts. I'm going to test it in that cup, and then maybe if it's bad, I'll throw it away. If not, I'll keep it. But, I don't know. So, yeah, that's where I'm calling the stream. So, next week, if everything goes well, we're going to start planning her out, and then we'll kind of go on to the others. So hopefully you guys have a good weekend. Thanks for stopping by. And make sure you sign up on Picardo. I'll try to do some paint streams on Jubilee this week. No problem.